Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kire here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And in today's video, I'm going over Gala Longbraids. I want to break down why she's so good, break down how I build her, and then also I got some footage of her in like me hitting Plat Arena. Hit Plat today, recorded the matches, so I wanted to show you guys that. Also, before we get started, if you'd like to support this ad-free Raid channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and with that, let's get into it. First thing worth breaking down is why I use her. So let's go over. Her kit is A1, attacks on enemy 2 times. Each hit ignores 30% of the target's defense. Places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. Value of the shield is equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. And then A2 is attacks on enemy, ignores 50% of the target's defense when attacking under a shield buff. Heals this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted. Places a shield buff on this champion equal to any of the surplus heal for 3 turns. And then her A3, which is attacks when enemy 3 times. Each hit ignores 25% of the target's defense. Grants an extra turn if this champion has full HP after using this skill. So the reason why I use her is I needed someone. Right now the meta is dominated by Rhodos, Sifi, Arbiter, Duchess. So characters so there's 2 questions that are needing to be answered when facing this, and usually they're paired together. So first thing is we have to solve how are we going to get around killing Rhodos with his passive here, which is will decrease the damage from a single enemy hit, so incoming damage will not exceed 50%. So then he just survives a big burst. So I used to use Skull Crown. Skull Crown was a very I really like Skull Crown on my team. She was, ever since I pulled her, she's been a staple in my arena lineup. She doesn't really work against Rhodoses. And then next is going to be also, she doesn't really do enough damage against people's, if you see Sifis or you see Duchesses, they make them incredibly tanky so they can survive the burst. So not only am I just giving Rhodos a free extra turn, but I'm not even able to one-shot Duchess unless they're just under geared. There's a lot of really good geared Duchesses out there that can survive the one hit from Skull Crown unless I build like Savage gear. But the issue with that is then it leaves me vulnerable to the last question in all of this, which is Tormund. So Tormund's gonna freeze. So it's if I'm not having my characters in immunity gear, then that's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem. And a lot of people combine the 2, maybe even 3 characters, Duchess, Tormund, and Rhodos. So I need someone that can ignore defense on his own, someone that can multi-hit, and I need someone that I don't need to put Savage gear on. I want to save that for immunity gear. The characters that would answer that question are, in my the one I ended up going with is Gala. There's other options that can do it. You could have your own Rhodos. You can also do another character that people have been doing is Brachus. Brachus is a good option as well. Don't have that one as well. Foley's one that I have, but I just think Gala's better. Foley, he has this right here. Attacks on enemies. Attacks all enemies, decreases the turn meter by 15%, then attacks the targeted enemy. So it is a 2-hit move that you could like target to a Rhodos, but blocks revive and stuff like that. But it doesn't have the ignore defense, so I don't think it really hits as hard as Gala. So that's why I chose Gala, is because she ignores defense. The last thing I should say is what she does is she can go again. The big thing is in this meta, you need to be able to kill the Rhodos, but then you also need to be able to kill the Duchess, Arbiter, Sifi on that exact same turn. So I can't do it with the big burst, so I have to do it with her. And so having this extra turn is massive for this meta because she can triple hit the Rhodos, so actually can kill the Rhodos and gets to go again. So I can then, with her A2, one-shot a Arbiter, one-shot a Sifi, one-shot a Duchess. So that's why, and then the match is pretty much over. It doesn't just end like it would back in the old meta of you just one-shot everyone, but it just we just neutralize the exact threats, and then the match is over, and then you just slowly clean up afterward. And so then that's why if you look at my gear here, it's all in immunity gear. Cool thing about immunity gear, there's a lot of benefits that after playing with it, like the initial reason was to counter Torments, but I've been finding it, I can just go straight into Hegemon teams with this gear. I don't have to worry about bombs, don't have to worry about provokes, don't have to worry about like Dracomorphs and Venuses that apply defense down, because that's all immune. The only one that is significantly more popular that you do have to still worry about is Madame Ceres, but it's just negating so many things, just having people in immunity gears. That's why I use her. And so with that, let's get into the footage of me getting to plat. Okay, so this is just gonna be a few matches, pre-recorded footage of just like the last 3 matches. First one is a Hegemon team, Rotos, Arbiter, and Tormin. So immunity gear means we're going to be pretty much negating the Hegemon and the Tormin. It is a coin flip. I have pure speed gear on my Arbiter. So it's like I do know going into this matchup that it is a coin flip on getting the speed boost. But usually I just take the risk. We're avoiding so much of his team. And so then what I'm doing here, this is her A3 in action. Pretty much always it's pretty much guaranteed to one-shot him. Big thing is, especially in Hegemon teams, you got to be careful because normally you'd expect to go twice because she needs to be at full health to get her extra turn. But Hegemon is like gonna almost be a guarantee that you're not going to be able to go twice with this comp. So it's like what I like to do is just kill the Rotos and buy myself time. Probably going to get revived anyway, but at least I don't have to worry about him going a billion times. And then the big thing I was buying time for is making sure getting the provoke off of it with Agnar really shuts down the team, and then now I can slowly pick them apart, hopefully be able to kill the Arbiter in time. It's kind of like that's my thought process. This right here, I believe I don't crit. Yeah, I think I have like 95% crit rate. That's like a 5% chance. It's a huge bummer. Big thing, hitting 100% crit, like absolutely make sure you hit 100% crit. I can't do it currently. My immunity set for my damage dealing is not good enough to hit 100%, but it would totally avoid stuff like that. And then now it's ever since Arbiter dies, it's pretty much a wrap. And just close out the game. But big thing I do want to say is making sure you have the right masteries. Definitely take the defense tree and have the proccing of a 20% chance to counter if one of your teammates get frozen, because you're never guaranteed to not get frozen off of on Gala. So then she's getting free. It's essentially, if you play Hearthstone, when Arbiter does her speed boost and she gets frozen, it's essentially like a 20% chance to give Gala a charge, like against Torment. So she gets a free shield. So she could use her, if you really need to, you'll be able to use her 50% damage reduction or armor pin on her A2 just off the bat, whereas normally you'd have to use 2 moves. Okay, so this one we have Arbiter, Krisk, Rotos, and Torment. So potentially scary matchup. I think this matchup is very important to have a cleanser if you're going to be going into Krisks. Also, if you have Torment, Torment's very good against Krisk. And so since I have the cleanser, I'll actually like take this matchup, and then the Torment's not a big deal, obviously, because of the immunity gear. But once we get that provoke down on Rotos, it's really, really nice for being able to shut it down. But regardless, even if we didn't have it, we didn't need it, because we got that massive crit there, 90k on the Arbiter. But the triple hit is the big deal that makes this work, is being able to not only triple hit with armor pen, it's to be, and then be able to go twice, because that could have been a really tanky, Sifi, or really tanky Arbiter, and having that 50% defense penetration is massive for being able to shut those characters down. And so now it got a little hairy, but once we stabilized, got through the freezes, stuff like that, we ended up winning. But yeah, Chris could be really scary. That's one thing I kind of want to do a video. I feel like Krisk would be a huge issue for people if you didn't have Madame Saris. So I kind of want to try looking at other options versus him. But currently, right now, I'm beating him with Madame Saris. And so here, let's skip on to the next one. This one's over. And so then lastly, this is, I believe, the last one for Plat. It's gonna be a Duchess, Rotos, Blood Twin, and Torment. So a pretty scary team, but this will show you just how much damage she can do. Also, just how effective it's a very simple strategy, why she's good. Also, a cool thing, one of the benefits she gets going for is she's void, so you never have to worry about weak hits, which is kind of nice as your damage dealer. Even though I don't think she's nearly as good as Rotos. So you go first, and then not only does she one-shot the Rotos, but she's able to one-shot the Duchess as well, and that's massive. And so, like, for example, if you're facing like a Sifi and a Duchess, usually what I would do is I would kill the Duchess and Sifi in one turn, and then try to slowly kill the Rotos. But it's really important to kill those Rezzers. And so in these teams, it's just the main threat plus one Rezzer. But if you're ever facing multiple Rezzers, be sure to just kill them both, and then hopefully you have characters like Agnar and stuff like that that can handle, like, keep them in line at least, because there's been times where Rotos can just go 5 times and you just lose automatically. So don't get discouraged with that. Just replay it. It's really random, but that's just the power of Rotos, and so you really want to make sure you're taking care of them. But I think that pretty much shows it off. She does a ton of damage. She can take care of the meta. She answers the issue that this meta is providing. And so that's why I like her. I think she's pretty dope. Definitely not the best option, but if you didn't get the fusion, if you don't have some of these other characters, I think she's really good at answering the meta. And so boom, there it is. Got that plat. All right. Not saying it's impressive or anything, but I just wanted to use that as like a metric for showing that she can be successful. The way different story of just hitting plat versus staying in plat, but I think that's more about not really the character, it's more about how good your gear is. And so for me, I probably just get outsped by almost everyone in plat. So it's gonna be very tough to stay there. I'll see if I want to invest my tokens in that, but from what I see is usually I'm getting outsped, and it's not a fun experience. Also, it's just incredibly inefficient. I could be getting a lot more medals facing easier teams. Well, that should do it for this video. If you made it this far, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have any more questions about Gala Longbraids, let me know down in the comments below. Also, I'll be on Twitch today, twitch.tv/KireMobile, so I hope to see you there. All right, peace.